This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Crime Stoppers of Southwest Florida. Report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. 1-800-780-TIPS. And by Lee Health.
Oh man, let's bump you in, man. Oh man, the incomparable, the undescribable Israel, Suriel, man. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Thank you, appreciate it, Lee.
Man, what were we listening to right there?
So the one that you just listened to was Oleo by Miles Davis and Sonny Rollins, and the first one was from the very infamous Thelonious Monk, and it was one of his many fashionable tunes that he played way back in the day, and that's what I learned while I was going to school at Florida Gulf Coast University.
Okay. Speaking of Florida Gulf Coast University, you're a guy who's actually studied music. You're trained at it, and a lot of work has gone into getting you to this point. Give us a little background on how you first started to play the sax, and what are some things you're playing around town now too? I hear.
So how I started playing music recently was not recently, but a long time ago. It feels like. When I moved from New Jersey, because that's where I'm originally from, and I was living with my sister at the time, and I was like this computer geek. That I was trying to get into technology for a while at a young age. I was only like in 8th grade at the time, so I was around 12. And she wanted me to do some extracurricular activities, so she's like, let's put you in the band. And me being a really bratty kid at the time, I was thinking, this ain't for me. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm going to be bored.
What age are you then? Roughly, what age are you now?
I'm 22.
I mean, at the time when that you're telling me about.
Oh, I was around like 12 years old.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually. And this one, I was starting in the 8th grade, and I was starting in the band with 6th graders and 7th graders. So it wasn't part of my crowd, and I was like, oh, this is going to be boring. But then as I started to get comfortable, and I was starting to get into the zone, I was like, you know what? Actually, I think this is something I would like to do. Like, this is cool for me. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Because when I see people playing instruments, I always think it's so complicated. And then when I was in like the 5th grade or something, it was a requirement at school that we took a music class, and I saw the treble clefs and the quarter notes and the bass and all of that, and I never could like see myself reading music. Were you intimidated at first?
Yes, because one, it was another class that I was just like, oh God, now I have to take another one of these courses at school. But then as it was explained to me by the teacher, and as everything was steamrolling along, I was just like, okay, I'm starting to understand it. And then it was actually starting to help me with my other academics, math, science, reading, English especially, and it just gave me more of an incentive to pursue that even more, because it was helping me in the long run.
Mm-hmm. When I first saw you play, I was so impressed with you. It was just like on my list of things to do. I have to get him to come out and play at one of my events, which is Lee Pitts Live After Work. You're going to be playing there on November 15th. People can actually see you in person playing at my social event. What's the type of sound you're going to try to bring across to that crowd that we have about 200 people there?
Wow, so it's going to range from jazz to soul to maybe just a taste of hip hop or pop here and there, just to keep everything fresh and not, too mundane. If there's something if there's something that's being played that people want to hear, I'll probably whip something out and make it impressionable, make something that people would like to hear.
Right, with your skills, just do your thing, man. I'm just going to be sitting back chilling and enjoying it. What are some of the responses that you get from people? Because I know people just love the saxophone. You told me that. And the women love the saxophone. So tell me about the responses you get.
So there's different type of responses that I can get. Like, it can be compliments, it can be praised, it can be critique. And it's all, I don't consider it bad critique. I consider it good, because it helps me improve at the end of the day. People would say stuff like, "Keep up what you're doing." Like, "I see a bright future ahead of you." Some people would be like, "I love what you're doing. Keep coming back. Like, we love what you're doing here." Other people, especially like my colleagues, musicians-wise, they would be like, "I like what you're doing. Next time, try this and see if this changes a little bit, to see if it adds more of a fresh taste to the thing." And actually, there was a musician that I was talking to a couple weeks ago, Arnold Mullins, also known as AJ. I was playing a performance with him, and he would tell me, "People love the saxophone. Try to do it tastefully." And I'm thinking, like, what does he mean by that? And it took me a couple weeks to think about it and realize, like, okay, people love the saxophone, but they don't like to hear it all the time. And so where I tried to place myself in the music, whenever we played it, I would only do it, like he said, tastefully. Like, I wouldn't do too much of it. I would only do it where it sounded like it should have been necessary. And that way, when people like hear it, it just brings that much more of a better response out of them.
And I've also seen you playing with various bands where you sit in and you gig with them. Now, right now, you playing around Southwest Florida in any particular venue that people might want to come and check you out?
Yeah, so on Wednesday nights, I play at a restaurant off of Summerlin Road. It's called The Link. It's spelled Lynq. And every Wednesday night from 10:30 to about 1 in the morning, there's this event that goes on called On the Platform. And it's a really great venue to where the community around the surrounding area can come and perform their works, whether it be musical talent, free verse poetry, free verse dancing, and it's led up by predominantly like a very forward pursuing Black community.
Okay.
Which when I first moved to Fort Myers, I didn't have like a handle on that, and it was good that like I was starting to get myself into that type of crowd, because I was just like, okay, so there is a really good welcoming Black community in the area, so I just want to get myself in there and, you know, commit to the melting pot in the Fort Myers area.
Excellent. We got a clipping of you actually playing. You know what's on the clipping. Just quickly set it up and we'll take a look. What is this?
This is Bad Girls from Donna.
Okay, let's take a look. All right, man, looking at you grooving out there like that, man, you remind me of something like you can play a little you can play a little jazz, a little bebop, a little bit of everything. When you are in with various groups, do y'all guys rehearse, or everybody just skilled at what they do to just come in and go with the melody?
Now, are you talking in terms of myself or that group in particular?
That group, yeah.
So that group in particular, it depends. If they're already an established band, it's already assumed, and it's usually correct, that they would rehearse once a week or every other week or so. When they have me step in, it's always by chance, and they don't know me as a person or as a musician at first, so they would just say along the lines of, you know what, let's have him hop in, see what he can do, and as soon as we can hear what he can play, we can go from there. And usually it's a very positive response.
Okay. You're available to play at various places. If people watching you now, they need you to play at their weddings or receptions or any type of venue, you're available. Give a website, a place that they can reach you.
So you can reach me at my phone number at 973-336-1159. It's a New Jersey number, but I live in Florida, so it's okay.
You can also hit you up on social media.
Social media is on Instagram. It's at Suriel.music, and you can find me on Facebook at Isaiah Suriel.
That's right. Okay, so man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Why don't you just play us on off the air, if you will? Give us a little something. What you gonna give us?
You ever heard of La Vie en Rose?
No, but I'm gonna hear it right now. Let's go. everybody? This is Lee Pitts, the host of the award-winning Lee Pitts Live here on Fox 4. We appreciate you watching our show here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, clicking below. Let everybody else know that they can subscribe as well. Also, when we're on the air on Fox 4, you can also catch us streaming live at 8:30 a.m. in the morning on fox4now.com. Just click on live and you get us all types of ways at your convenience. That's Lee Pitts Live.